Jöreget kívánok, Kucsvágy, Krakow. Krakow's a wonderful city. Absolutely a fantastic city. Hmm. Maybe I can do better today than I've done the past couple days. I've had a lot of thumbs down the last couple days, and I don't know I don't know why, but anyway, it's all good. So start of another day, and a couple things on my mind. I was just reading the comments of somebody from yesterday's video, commenting on how he finds it hard to believe that I have no that I have pressure, and that he would trade lives with me in a moment, and all that kind of stuff, and and he asked me to comment on it. So here's my comments on it. I can't remember everything that you wrote because I'm using the cell phone to do the video, and I'd have to. So anyway, so something to the effect of, how can I have pressure? I've got a life where I can travel at will, and I meet interesting people, and money isn't a concern, et cetera, et cetera. And that he would trade lives with me in a moment. You know what? Let me tell you something. There is no question, no doubt, that I have been, that I am, that I am blessed with with an exceptional life. Excuse me. There's no question that I'm blessed with an exceptional life in comparison to a lot of other people. A lot of other people, uh, life is a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle for survival, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't recognize, how fortunate that I am, and I realize that there's people that are even more fortunate than me. So it's all it's all really relative. But what I was communicating yesterday, as far as the under pressure and and what have you, wasn't to imply that I'm not happy with my life. Everybody's got pressure. Donald, well, I don't want to talk about politics, but he has pressure. You know, everybody has pressure. The interesting thing about my life, it's the responsibility. It's the responsibility. That is that's one of the most challenging aspects of my life. Is the responsibility that I have, and I'm not the only one in life with I am not the only one in life that 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 has responsibilities, mind you. I know I don't have a I'm not responsible for a family. I'm not responsible for putting food on the table. I'm not responsible for providing for a significant other, or tucking little ones into bed at night. And God only knows what that responsibility is like. I don't know, but I can imagine that the responsibility of providing for a family is quite intense, I would think. But my responsibility is a responsibility that I have for my clients, for my 60 or 70 clients, and it's a little bit stressful at times. That trying to maintain the such an important part of their business. My website is responsible for probably the better part of the revenue for most of my clients. And my clients are those people that have the responsibilities of putting food on the table, putting those are the ones with the families. Those are the ones with the employees that have the families. And my product and my service accounts for the vast majority of those shops, those clients' income. So making sure that everything that I'm doing is beneficial for them is it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So anyway, I hope I clarified that. But yeah. So what else is on my mind? The Book of Life. The Book of Life. Last night I was just kind of wrapping up, packing up things in the house here. Today is the January 31st. Boy, time flies, doesn't it? January 31st. And as I was picking up stuff in here in the kitchen, getting it ready to go put in my 5x5, I found myself thinking that I'm turning the page, and in doing so, finishing a chapter in my book of life. And the most important aspect of this chapter of my life has been my father. The chapter, the chapter started with moving here to Florida, buying this house. My dad was my dad was with me. My dad was with me when we walked in the door for the first time into this house, and I don't even know how many years ago that was. Three years, maybe four. I don't know. But my dad was with me the first time when I took possession of this house. And for the most part, if I were if this were the book of my life, this chapter would just probably simply be called Dad. This chapter was all about my dad, with him being here with me for the last couple of years of his life. So anyway, so now it's on to a new chapter. And to be quite honest with you, I don't expect that this I don't expect this house to sell under the current market conditions and the price that I have it set at. So even though I've emptied out the house, which I have, I mean, I'm leaving the furniture, but even though I've emptied out the house, it's still, I just don't think that it's going to sell. So with that being said, we will see, I should say, as far as what happens with the house. Right now, as it stands, my travel plans don't have me back here for the better part of a year. If my travel plans go as they're developing in my head, it's off to Portugal next week, and then back here for a night or two, and then over to LA to meet with some clients, and then to be quite honest with you, from LA, I don't know. I don't want to really take the long flight out of LA to Australia. The flight to New Zealand's a little bit shorter. I think that flight's about 11 or 12 hours, and the flight to Australia is more like 14 or something like that. Imagine sitting on a plane for 14 hours, 18 hours. It's just, I can't fathom it. So maybe years ago I could do something like that, but now that's just too long of a flight for me. but I see myself going from maybe over to Hawaii for a short layover, and 3 or 4 days in Waikiki, and then catch a flight down under. I'd love to go visit Michelle. Remember Michelle? Remember Michelle? I met her in where did I meet her? I met her in Croatia. I met her in Croatia, in Ravin. Ravin. If you want to do a search and type in something like Tom Hall, Hall, Ravin, Rovinj, a magical Ravin night, or something like that. I think it's called a magical Ravin night, Rovinj night, and you'll see the lovely Michelle. And I met Michelle in Ravin on a coffee date, and the next day we were off to Italy together for four wonderful days. And so Michelle is down under, and Michelle and I have become no, I'm not going to say really good friends, but we become friends. And she lives on the I think it's called the Sunshine Coast of Australia. But it'd be nice to go see her, and then work my way back to the United States. And I have my heart set on the Pacific Northwest, and to see go back to Butchart Gardens and Victoria, Vancouver Island. Is it Vancouver Island or Victoria Island? I think it's Vancouver Island, and Victoria is on that island. Actually have two clients on that island, interestingly enough. And then, of course, I want to go to Nova Scotia. I want to go to Nova Scotia, and I want to go down to New England, and then back to Europe, back to the Turkish bath in Agad. I want to go back to the Turkish bath in Agad. So that's the plan. So I don't see myself back here for the better part of a year. But anyway, so let's do the Jeopardy. I get killed. I get killed in this thing. I wouldn't be a good contestant, but let's give it a shot. One of these days I'll get 6 out of 6, hopefully. Alexa, what is the weather in Cleveland?
Right now in Fort Myers, it's 52 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has lots of clouds, with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 52 degrees.
Alexa, what's the weather in the Villages, Florida?
In the Villages, Florida, there's a freeze warning in effect until Thursday, January 31st, 9 a.m. The current weather is 39 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today, you can look for intermittent clouds, with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 39 degrees.
Ooh, Skip Smith doesn't like that. I have 60, low of 30. What the hell? Poor Skip Smith. That's the Villages is where Skip Smith lives. And there's a freeze warning? Oh my God. Oh no. I hope he has his oranges covered, out in the yard. I hope he covered his oranges. But anyway, Alexa, let's play Jeopardy.
This is Jeopardy!
Thanks, Johnny, and welcome, players. Be sure to stay tuned after today's 6 clues for a special announcement.
I want to know how many you get right.
Today's first category is official state foods. It shouldn't sap your brain to recall the state flavor of Vermont.
What is maple?
That's correct. The next category is disaster averted. In 2011, one of this country's nuclear submarines caught fire, but avoided a repeat of the Chernobyl incident.
What is Russia?
That's correct. The third category is miscellaneous. We Go Together is the last song in both acts of this stage musical.
What is Greece?
Correct. The next category is I before E, after C. The sequence C, I, E will come up in each correct response. With the tagline, Where Discoveries Begin, the NSF is the National This Foundation.
National Science Foundation.
Please respond in the form of a question starting with phrases like, who is or what is.
What is the National Science Foundation?
That's it.
Yes.
The fifth category is
Come on.
scribbling siblings. Dear Abby would be a polite way for this manners maven to start letters to her advice columnist sister.
Please repeat. I know this.
Again, the category is scribbling siblings. Dear Abby would be a polite way for this manners maven to start letters to her advice columnist sister.
I should know this. I don't know.
Please respond in the form of a question
I
starting
don't
with
know.
phrases like who is or what is.
I don't know.
The correct response was who is Ann Lenders. The last category
I
is
should have known.
the Super Bowl. Deflategate let a little air out of this team's 2015 Super Bowl victory over the Seahawks.
Who are the New England Patriots?
That's correct.
5. I got 5 today.
All right, let's see how you did today.
Great job. You've got 5 of 6 correct. You scored in the top 5% of players today.
You can now play 6 more clues
Alexa,
every
stop.
weekday in the Double Jeopardy
Alexa,
round.
stop.
Would you like to learn how?
No.
See you next time.
Harry, how about that? I got 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6. Is that something? I should have known the one about the Dear Abby, the Ann Landers, but, I don't go to, I don't read the paper. I don't read the paper and what have you. But anyway, so let's do the high hope for the day, and we'll wrap it up. We'll do a couple today. We'll do two of these. Look inside. Look inside. Ignore the external forces surrounding you. The answers to our deepest questions lie inside us. Here, you are in control. You can choose your direction. You can listen to your inner voice. You make your choices. Look inside. And that quote is from Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 3, from William Shakespeare. This above all, to thine own self be true. So that's that one. And the other one, embrace your humanity. It's what sets you apart. It's centered on your view of the world. Make sure it's genuine, that it's you, yours. Ensure that you're not copying someone else's views. When you're confident in your beliefs, build on them. Stay true to them. And the quote is from Carl Jung. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So anyway, as I close the book of High Hopes, 170 Ways to Lift Your Spirits, I'm going to continue reading the book of life, the book of my life. So anyway, everybody out there, have a great day. And for those of you in the experiencing the polar vortex, my heart goes out to you. Stay warm. Stay warm. You too, Skip Smith. Okay, I think that polar vortex is nipping at your toes there in the villages. I mean, a freeze warning is in effect. My goodness. But anyway, so that's about it. And I should probably I just as I think about it, I'm standing here and thinking this is the last day. I probably should take this with me that my dad put on the or I put this on there. My dad put this one on there, and prayer for a new day. Help to keep my heart clean and to live so honestly and fearlessly that no outward failure can dishearten me or take away the joy of conscious integrity. Open wide the eyes of my soul that I may see the good in all things. Is that a quote or what? Or a prayer? Open wide the eyes of my soul that I may see the good in all things. Grant me this day some new vision of thy truth. Inspire me with the spirit of joy and gladness, and make me the cup of strength to suffering souls. Make me the cup of strength to suffering souls. Isn't that a great prayer? Make me the cup of strength to suffering souls. And then my favorite quote from the Bible, Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And anyway, that's about it. And the quote from my dad. My dad put this up here. Be true to yourself. Number one, life's little instructions. Be true to yourself. Make each day your masterpiece. Help others. Drink deeply from good books, especially the Bible. Make friendship a fine art. Build a shelter against a rainy day. Pray for guidance and give thanks for the blessings every day. So, all right, folks, have a great day. And as my dad would say, I love you all. And as I would say, please go easy on the thumbs down today. I got 5 out of 6.